Turning left instead of right. Election results in England and France surprise political observers when voters embraced parties on the left rather than more conservative ones. Well, here to explain why it happened and what it may mean for the future is Leighton Gray. He's Senior Fellow of Canada's Frontier Centre for Public Policy and host of the Gray Matter podcast. Leighton, surprisingly, both England and France have made an unexpected turn to the left. Why?
Well, it's a great question. I think the short answer is that the left is getting very good at winning elections. And this is something that those of us who are on the other side of the case need to be very aware of. Of course, we've seen the situation in the United States in 2020. There's still a great shroud of uncertainty and speculation, suspicion around the results of that election. We've had the last two elections in Canada in 2019 and 2021, where we know that the CCP was interfering in our national elections. And we see now over in Europe kind of living out what John Calvin once said, and that is that when God wants to judge a nation, he gives them wicked rulers. But there's features of what's going on in France that I think will be very familiar to Americans. For example, this idea of a protracted election. We had Ms. Le Pen. It looked like she was going to win a victory. Even now, the French are stuck with a government that, by most reports, about 70% of the French do not support. But we have this protracted election where it looked like she was going to win. We have rioting in the streets. This leftist coalition reorganizes itself under the direction of Mr. Macron, who we know is under the direction of the globalists. And lo and behold, much like in 2020, when 600,000 votes showed up for Mr. Biden overnight, when it looked like Mr. Trump was going to win, we have the turning to the left. And then the other thing that's really concerning about the French election, which just came out on Tuesday, is they're taking a page out of the Democrats' book in terms of lawfare. It seems that Ms. Le Pen now is going to be subjected to a preliminary investigation into suspicions of illicit financing. And they're calling her a far-right French leader. Of course, she's nothing of the kind. She's a conservative. But this is over some financing implications, allegations from 2022. And she's not the only one in France who's going to be subjected to this sort of lawfare. So not only is the left sort of stolen an election in France, and the people are stuck with the government that they don't want, now they're going to take out their political opponents by trumping up these, pardon the pun, trumping up these allegations. And then when you look at what's happening in England, you have there a government that strangely wins a record majority of seats in their House of Commons, 2/3 of them, in fact, but with only 1/3 of the popular vote. Well, how does this happen? We wonder at this, and the British people are wondering aloud about this too. So how is the left able to do this? How is it that they become so adept at winning elections? Because they're winning a lot, and of course, the biggest one is coming up in November in the United States, because anyone who understands what's going on in the world should know and appreciate that it's the broad shoulders of the United States. It's sort of the bulwark that's holding back this tide of communism and globalism. Trump and that Project 2025, I see as not only the American, but the global solution, the global answer to globalism, if you will, leftism, that's sort of overrun Europe and has largely taken over Canada. And so if the Democrats are able to repeat their success of 2020, and this may be why Mr. Biden seems to be so confident, even though his numbers are so low and he's had such a horrific, a performance in the recent debates with Mr. Trump. That may be why he's so confident that they're going to win. I don't know, but the one thing that we all need to be concerned about is how the heck did these people get so good at winning elections?
And NATO members gathered in Washington this week for the 75th anniversary. Liberals are sounding the alarm, saying if Donald Trump is reelected, he'll exit NATO. The alliance will collapse. Is that just fear-mongering, or didn't he pressure member states into contributing a larger percentage of the NATO budget when he was president? Did he not?
Well, I think Mr. Trump truly understands NATO because unfortunately NATO has been co-opted. It's become like the World Economic Forum. It's become like the WHO. It's become like these other globalist organizations that really seem to have been infiltrated by the left. I believe by the CCP. I believe all these organizations have been corrupted by the CCP, which is, of course, attacking U.S. Global hegemony.
From Alberta, Canada, Leighton Gray, thank you for providing your insights. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day.